your entire Python SD. Cool. Okay. So let me just see if I can share my screen. But before that, would like to see that how many of you have been like what kind of things you have been learning in this space and how far you have come up with the sessions that are being done here, right? How good you are with solidity. So I'm just going to create like a couple of polls and then you can respond to it. Okay. Kiran, can I create like a poll or something?
Yeah, we need to check. Might be just post the question, and I think people can respond on the message. That's what we've been doing for now.
Okay. Okay.
For now,
Sure.
yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna drop it there then. I should have created a mentee, but I will do it for the next meeting for sure. Right. You can like I don't know. You can react as per your liking. You can like put a thumbs up and a thumbs down. And if you want to like also mention a specific thing that you have been working upon, that would be really nice.
So just to give you some context, Vanshika, the girls started with Solidity just this week.
Okay.
So they're just catching up, FYI. Yeah.
Okay, so it's like very, I would say like, it's a very starting, very beginning of learning solidity, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
I want to keep it really interactive. I just don't want myself to be speaking. So can any one of you just summarize what you have learned so far, like anything that you like, specifically in Web3 space, also from technology point, or you have been reading something about any of the tabs. So two or three of you, if you can, like just unmute yourself and talk about it. Anyone?
Hello.
Yes.
So
Hi.
yeah, myself Garima, and so right until now we were learning about JavaScript. We completed
Okay.
JavaScript basics last week only, and for this week we were learning basics of blockchain, basics of Web3 currently. Like yesterday, we saw some frequent terms that are used in Web3 space.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really great, really great. Cool. Let me know if you can see my screen, and if not, then yeah, I'm just trying to. Kiran, can you see my screen right now?
Hey Vanshika, it's yet to come. Yeah, it's yet to come. And, just wanted to add, firstly, so stoked to have you. We started off with such good momentum with your, speaking session. And wanted to add, like,
Okay.
the girls are just getting, they will have the first MetaMask installation in tomorrow's class. And, we'll be
Okay.
doing like some of these transactions that we can showcase, on how the launch works and how these hash IDs are created. So that they'll be learning
Okay.
there.
Nice.
So it's literally like the basic beginner level. So yeah,
Okay.
let's do this.
Very nice,
Thanks.
very nice. Okay. So I think like so in that case what I'll do is I'm just gonna keep this I'm gonna keep my chat open, okay, and I will try to talk to you guys as much as I can. I wouldn't go about like showing any of like anything extra because I know like it's really beginning of it. So does any one of you like has any idea around account abstraction, like you have heard about it or you have seen something on internet? Anyone? I'll just wait for a couple of minutes and then you can drop like a text or so. No, right? Okay. So I'm just going to keep it really simple then because, I think it's Bhavni. She mentioned about creating smart contract based wallets, which is true. So I'm going to give you a link of the documentation around the SDK. Okay. But let's start off with like a very, very basic, like how Biconomy works out, right? So the first term that most of us know is account abstraction, like EIP 4337. You might have heard this term, right? So what happens is that you have got a wallet, right? MetaMask is there. It's like a wallet thing. There is another thing which you call smart contract wallets. The only difference between your MetaMask wallet and your other wallet, which is the 4337 or smart contract wallet, right? Yes, Mahilka, it's related to the dApps. Okay, all of the things that we are talking right now, it's related to the decentralized applications, and whatever you would be learning in the further, we'll be learning about MetaMask, transaction hashes. You'll be learning about how the transaction is done on chain, right? So this all of this would be like you being able to build that app or some kind of interactive stuff around it. So to talk about it, smart contract wallets are like something that you can code, right? Like in MetaMask, what happens is there is a pop-up that comes in, and then you have to do like a signature, or signature in the sense you have to do a transaction on that. But in smart contract wallets, we can actually program it the way we want to, right? So if you want to do some certain kind of transactions, then you can write a function. Okay, you can write it in JavaScript or TypeScript. You can use that and you can do that kind of transactions. Cool. Um okay. Now, before that, I will talk about the current user experience of Web3. What is something that you don't like about Web3 user experience? Is there anything that has happened and you don't like anything particular around it? Can anyone like just raise their hands and like talk about it? No one? Okay, never mind. It's okay. So the first problem that happens is private keys. You know private keys, right? And everyone would know private keys. Okay, I don't know. This is the whiteboard is slightly buggy, but please don't mind me. Okay. So yeah, so private keys is like a one thing that you have to manage when you will make a MetaMask account. You would have seen it's like, and you have got seed phrases in that, right? So it's like you have to manage that. You have to either save it somewhere. And what happens? You must have heard about like security issues where these private keys were compromised. Okay, which means your assets, let's say your crypto coins, can be it can be like stolen away, or there can be transactions that can be done on behalf of you. So it's not a good thing, it's not a great thing, right? Because you're going to lose money in that. Okay. Another thing is the complication of Web3 UX. So I already talked about like how you have to go around and do the MetaMask thing. Like my parents, okay, I'll tell you a very funny thing. My parents, when I tell them that I work in the space, I'm building something around wallets, you know what they tell? They will tell them someday some guys from like income tax is going to come and stuff like that. And most of our parents react like that. They don't understand blockchain very well, and they also don't understand that if we will sit down next to them and we'll tell them how you can use MetaMask, they won't understand it. So that is the complication that exists right now, that you don't know how to use the MetaMask, or you don't know how to manage the entire Web3 UX. So when you actually start logging into, let's say, a project or a dApp, you see a MetaMask pop in and you're like, I don't want to do this. I don't know how to handle this, right? So, what another thing which can be done through your EIP 4337 or account abstraction is that you know how Google login looks, right? We can give a Google login to the people and ask them to just do like a normal login stuff, and they will be able to get their contract wallet addresses. Um, In the coming two sessions, we'll be looking at how we can achieve this. There will be like a mini code along thing that, I'll be coding and you guys can also try doing it on your end. But for the time being, I'm just going to keep it like very simple for you guys. Okay. So that's the second thing. That's the UX part of it. Now the third thing that is there that you have to manage out is paying the gas fees. Everyone knows about gas fees, right? Like you must have heard of it, that how high it is, and you have to like buy ETH and stuff like that. So paying the gas fees. If you want to take a screenshot after how the board is going to look like, you can do that. So these are the three major problems, and this is what Biconomy SDK is also solving at it, right? Cool. So now that we have defined the problems, account abstraction is the solution to it. Okay. I'm gonna give you a link to the documentation. If you want to see it yourself, you can do that. Okay. Cool. Now let's start off with the smart contract wallet, something that we talked around. So I'm gonna write smart contract wallet. Okay. And let's do a comparison between this and your MetaMask, okay, which you'll be learning probably tomorrow. So MetaMask wallets are the EOA wallets, okay. MetaMask wallets is like it's externally owned accounts, which is something like you don't control, you don't know how to alter it, and they will be working in a specific manner. So smart contract wallets are programmable. Okay. So if you want to program it in a certain way, you can just you can call it programmable wallets as well. I hope the screen is visible, right? And if anyone wants to ask any question, or you feel that you're not able to understand anything, please stop me. You can unmute yourself, or you can drop like a text on the chat box, and I'll definitely respond to it. Okay. And what is smart contract wallet? Smart contracts, like I said, it's a codable wallet, it's a programmable wallet, and EOA is your MetaMask wallet. Okay. So in EIP 4337, what we do is, I will try to show you this picture. Let me see if it comes on the whiteboard. Okay. Okay, I don't think it's going to copy, but fine. Okay. Okay. So there is a saying, okay, that if you do not own your keys, you do not own your crypto. So when you get smart contract wallets, you don't have to have like a problem around your private keys. Okay, why and how this works out is that there is certain set of you can say there is a way that your private key is actually saved. Okay, so I'll show you that diagram and that flow as well, and then you can just give yourself a look. Okay. Okay. So it's like a wallet which works on the basis of functions defined in a smart contract. Mm, kind of. Okay. You will write, so there is smart contract which you would write for your, let's say, NFT, right? ERC 721 token or ERC 20 tokens. So that is a smart contract. Now this wallet is like, there is already something called entry point contract. So most what happens is that in your entry point contract, all the functions that you want to do, you can actually do it properly by by just making sure that the functions and entry point contracts are callable in your script. So let's say you have a TypeScript or JavaScript, you can make those changes in the script and call your contract functions in it. Okay. Now I was talking about the private keys. How they work out is that you have got three ways of the key construction. There is two-factor authentication, there is device, and there is zero auth login share. So this is what we use. I'll share you a picture. I don't know, like this is not showing up in the screen, but I'll just copy this address and then you can go and you check yourself out. So as per this, if you see, there are three ways that we are saving the key, and out of these three shares, you need to have at least 2 by 3 verified. Until unless that happens, no one can actually enter your contract. Okay, so with that, yeah, three of these are there, and you can just make sure that it's matched by the Web3 auth network, and then you're good to go. So there's like a separate Web3 auth and key management. We don't manage the private keys. We don't save the private keys. We just allow you to have like your smart contract wallet on top of your private keys. Cool. So this is where your social login comes in. Social login will help you to figure out the entire private key part, and you don't have to like have like entire MetaMask thing going on. Okay, it's just like any Google account. You can just log into it. Simple. Now let's come down onto the second thing. We were talking about also the gas fees, and we were talking about batch transactions. So this is something that is like around your, specifically around your gas fees. Okay, so let's say right, gas fees is like really high right now. So there are two things in gas fees. You are supposed to pay gas fees in ETH. Okay, paying ETH for gas fees. What happens is that when you are trying to get these, you're trying to buy gas and stuff like that, uh, it's really difficult because you just cannot do it with any kind of token. You need to have like Ethereum in your account, and then you need to buy more gas, more ETH for the gas fees. What we try to do is, and this is something we are still working upon, but you with account abstraction, you can do ERC20 payments. Okay, what is ERC20 payments? I'll try to break it down for you. This is like, you might know about USDT and USDC, right? This is like the stable coins. So what if I asked you that you can pay the gas fees in a stable coin? Okay, you don't need to buy Ethereum. You can just have any of these three coins, and you can pay the gas fees. So gas fees is managed by this. So that means that users will be able to do transactions to using their own stable coins. Now this brings me to another point as well. You know Binance? Everyone knows Binance, right? Anyone uses Binance here? Drop me a text, please. Anyone has seen Binance? Have used before? Okay. Nice. So what happens in Binance, you know that you can buy crypto. Okay. You can buy crypto with what? Your credit card, debit card. You can also have a UPI and stuff like that. Even when you like want to sell off, you can get the transaction UPI, your bank account. So that is called fiat off ramp. Okay, fiat off ramp, and off ramp is some term. It's a term which you use when you want to buy crypto from the same platform. So let's say if you have a DApp and you would like to buy crypto, you don't want to go to Binance, you don't want to go any other exchanges, but you have built a DApp, you have built a decentralized application, and you want to do fiat on ramp and off ramp, which means you want your users to be able to buy crypto from their account using credit card, debit cards, or UPI, whatever is supported in that particular nation. Based on that, you can buy crypto on that DApp application. So this solves the problem of how With your money, you can buy crypto. Okay, crypto in sense of, let's say, you can buy stable coins. Okay, I'll give example of stable coins. I bought stable coins of, like, let's say, USDC or USDT, and now I'm gonna use this stable coin to pay my gas fees. Now, right now, what's the situation is, most of the dApps, they don't have this functionality. You need to buy Ethereum itself to pay the gas fees. To anyone who is doing the transaction, they need to pay that fees, okay? Because there are executors, there are nodes, and because you're validating the transaction, there are people who are checking, let's say, you're validating the transaction on chain, so you need to pay that gas fees. But because now you have the account abstraction, let's say you use the SDK. Yeah, the word is fiat on ramp and off ramp. I have written it down here. Okay, this is it. So with stable coins, you can buy this. Okay. Another thing. Okay, this is a little different, and slightly, it can be slightly difficult for you to understand, but it's completely fine if it happens. And I'll just introduce like a very simple, in a very simple term. Okay, I'll try to make you understand. I actually wanted to give a technical overview, but because you guys are very extremely new, what we'll do is, in the second and the third call, second call, I'll give you like a whole technical overview, like how this actually works out on backend. So there are 4 things we'll discuss in next call. I'm just gonna write the terms. We don't have to take it in this particular call, okay? So when we say, let's see, yeah. So there are 4, you can say, parts to the account abstraction, 4 um, terms that you need to know. We'll not discuss this, as I said, we'll not discuss this in this call. This is user op, then there is bundler, okay, there is paymaster, okay, and there is mempool. So I'll show the working of this entire flow, like, how the flow works out. These are the 4 parts to, technical parts to the uh, account abstraction, or you can even say SDK. Cool. Uh, okay, let's see what's next. Fiat on ramp, yes, that's it. That's the one. Okay, yeah, we talked about fiat on ramp, we talked about gas fees, buying crypto. Okay, I'm gonna bring you a new term, which is gasless transactions. Anyone heard of it? Or, I mean, like, meta transaction is gonna be a different term. I'm not gonna go completely deep. Anyone has heard about gasless transaction? Like a separate. Yeah. Anyone? No, I don't think so. Cool. So when you hear the word gasless, what comes into your mind? Do you think gas fees is free? Write whatever you think. Okay. Sai to Money says they're paid by third party. Okay, very good. This is nice. Gas fees are not required. Okay, without paying gas fee. Okay. Any other answers? Okay. Transaction for testing. I too thought of not paying gas fees. Okay, it's fine. It's fine to think like that. It's completely okay. So what happens in gasless transactions is, someone mentioned about third party. Okay, third party is like, let's say I want to buy something. Okay, let's say I want to buy something, and there is extra taxes. Okay, let's say you go to a mall and you want to buy clothes, and you've got extra taxes to pay on that clothes. There's CGST, SGST. Now, what I'm like, okay, can someone sponsor this tax for me so that I can buy what I want to buy, but at the same time, I don't have to pay the tax? Okay, this is just an example. I'm not saying that's how it works out. So, people said third party. It's like that's the layer. This is the term. I think what I'm going to do is I will prepare like a small blog for whatever I have talked about today, and I will send it over so you can just read it in simple terms, because I think docs might be slightly technical for you. So I will just cover all the topics, all the points that I'm discussing in this conversation, and then you can go through it later on. Okay, I don't want to have like a PPT and something like that. I'll just explain it in my words. So third party is like a relayer. So that another word to use is a sponsor. So you have got IPL, and people sponsor the cricketers and stuff like that. So you can say like that. It's like that only. But someone is going to pay the gas fees on behalf of you. So I want to buy crypto, or I want to buy something. I want to buy an NFT token. Okay, it's ERC721 token, and I don't want to pay the gas fees. So on that app, what can happen is that someone can have an account abstraction SDK, or you can use the BuyConMe SDK, and they can pay the gas fees on behalf of me so that I don't have to use the extra charges, right? The biggest problem that right now is the gas fees, because it's really really high. There is a lot of changes, a lot of fluctuations that happen. So to avoid that thing, gas is optimized accordingly. It's estimated accordingly for a transaction, and your relayer or your third party pays for it. Now, how this works out? Again, I'm gonna try to go into simple words. Let's see what we can do. So, think it like a gas tank. Okay, a tank full of that much matic, or we can say like matic is most like a most probable scenario in which people are going to sponsor your gas fees if they want to. So I will recharge. How do you do a top up in your, top up is like an old word, but recharge your phone and you've got that much of amount. So just like that, in my gas tank, I will do a recharge. Let's say, and you don't have money in that. You have a Matic, you have a coin. So you use an ERC20 token. This is Matic. Matic is the native token for your, if someone doesn't know, but I think most of you might be knowing a little bit heard about Polygon. So Matic is for Polygon. Okay. So if you're deploying on Polygon chain, then the gas tank should have like an ERC20 token of Matic. And with that amount of Polygon Matic, like let's say I hold approximately 10 Matic. Okay. And you guys did a transaction. You guys did transaction of, you did 100 transactions or 200 transactions. One thing that I need to make sure is that this 10 Matic can only sponsor until unless it's exhausted. So either I need to recharge it, okay, or the another thing that will happen. Can you explain ERC20 Matic again? Sure, I'll do that. So let's say after 10 Matic, you guys have done, all of you did transaction. What will happen is that my Matic will be over. So I cannot sponsor gas fees for you again. What I'll do is I will recharge the gas tank once again. So once that happens, again, let's say my updated balance look like 30 Matic, okay? And you can again start doing your gasless transactions. So gasless transactions just mean that you can do a transaction without paying gas fees. And when we say without paying gas fees, that means someone else will sponsor it. Okay. In this case, it's the relayer. Sometimes your dApp builder will do it. Okay. There is why I'm putting these two things down is that there are certain scenarios where there's a different implementation. I will not go into technical terms. We'll probably keep it for later. But in respective to your EIP 4337 account abstraction, we have got a gas tank. Okay. Okay. So there's a whole process for it, how it happens on bike on me. Okay. Okay. So we have something. We have two of these parts. We have got SDK and we have got our dashboard. So we will, in the next call, we will be talking about the SDK and the dashboard part and how you can also do a gasless transaction. So what I'll do for you guys is I'm gonna be sponsoring the gas fees, and we'll do like a very like an interactive exercise where you'll do like a single click transaction, and you will not have to pay any gas fees. You're like, there is not going to be any ERC20 token that you would have to pay or any matic fees that you would have to pay. All of that payment will be done through my gas tank, and I will show you that how it's working out in the backend and what are the things you need to implement. Niharika, you asked, can you explain ERC20 matic again? So there are native tokens. Native tokens mean ERC20 tokens which are used on that chain specifically, or you can belongs to that chain. Okay. So for, let's say, for Ethereum chain, you have got ETH as gas fees. Okay. For Polygon, you have got Matic. Okay. So every time you want to do a transaction on Ethereum, now Ethereum has the main net and there is Gurley, which is the test net. All the transactions we'll be doing in the next conversations will be around the test nets. We'll not do anything on mainnet because mainnet is really pricey and we don't require to do mainnet. So we'll either use, I think probably we'll be using Polygon Mumbai, and Polygon Mumbai's chain uses Matic as a token to pay the gas fees. So that's what we'll do. Okay, another term which is slightly related to, um, let me see. Okay. Mahilka asked, just a moment. How would the relayer, okay, benefit from paying the gas fee for me? Nice question. So, I will explain you in terms of gas tank. Okay, I will not go in the terms of relayer right now. So what happens? There is, as I have, like, let's say I build a tab and you come onto my tab. Okay, and if I tell you that you don't have to pay any gas fees, would it be nice to hear because you don't have to actually buy any token? Would it sound nice to you? Okay. Um, so that's what happens when you are building a tab where you can sponsor the gas fees for your users. Of course, it is an extra cost for you, but there are tabs who are okay with building, a gasless transaction way so that people don't have to pay the gas fees and stuff like that. There is also an alternate way, actually, which I was about to talk. I'm going to just write it here. So let's say there are tabs who are not able to do the gas, they're not able to provide you gasless transaction because the gas fees that they'll have to sponsor is going to be really high. What they do is they give you batch transactions. That also happens in our SDK, where you can do even more than like 10-20 transactions all together, but just in a single go. This reduces the gas fees. So either you can sponsor the gas fees for your users, or you can just say that you pay the gas fees once, just once, for 20 transactions or 30 transactions. In that case, you don't have to like pay the gas fees again and again. Okay. And about the question around relayer, I will just like tell you like a very small thing. When there's like a relayer paying on behalf of you, there is a bit of fee, or you can say incentive, that is given to them because they are paying on behalf of you and they are like making sure that they are verifying, optimizing the gas usage and all that stuff. It is slightly technical to understand the relayer structure of it, that how the fees and how your entire structure works out. But yeah, it's a way of earning a fee or incentive for providing the layer service. Okay. But here I've tried explaining in like the gas tank type of thing. Like, I'm not earning anything. I'm just sponsoring your gas fees, and you as a user, you will come to me because you don't have to pay any gas fees. So batch transaction is like, let's say, um, we all buy stuff online, right? We love buying stuff online. Today I got like so many stuff. I can't go and do shopping outside. It's like too much stress for me. So I buy like, let's say, around 10 stuff. Okay. So when you add 10, any of the 10 things that you want to buy, could be clothes, could be stuff from cosmetics and stuff. So you add it in a cart, right? And when you are in the end of the entire summary order, you pay certain taxes. There might be times you would have to also pay delivery charge, but most of the applications like Nike, Amazon, they give you free delivery. But the tax is always there, right? So instead of doing shopping for 10 times, you do it in one go. You put 10 things together in a one cart and you click once for order and you pay tax only once. Am I able to like make you understand what's happening exactly? Okay. So one cart, one order, and one time pay for your taxes. Okay. Similarly, let's say in batch transactions, I want to buy 10 tokens. Right now, the current thing that happens is even on Binance, I want to buy tokens, 10 different tokens or 10 different amount of tokens. I'll have to do 10 transactions. And with every transaction, there is a gas fees involved. So just think that if you just like add it out, right? Plus gas fees and then multiply it by 10. Wouldn't be costly? You paying gas fees every time again and again. It's going to be really costly, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy 10 token and pay the gas fees only once. This is what happens in batch transactions. You're buying or selling tokens, or you're doing a transfer, buying, selling, transfer 10 times. Instead of doing 10 times, you can just do it in a single transaction and you can pay the gas fees in just one go. And there is like a whole estimation which is done on your 10 transactions or 20 transactions, however, how many transactions you want to do, you can do that. So with batch transaction, you are able to pay on gas fees, you are able to optimize your transactions better, and you are able to solve the problem of clicking on MetaMask again and again. So one thing I want to clear out, um, there is something called signature in your MetaMask, which verifies that you are the user who is doing this transaction and there is no one else doing it. So you have to make sure you click on the sign and approve button. You'll see it in the next classes. I'm just trying to give you a very simple brief. It's like you have to approve of that transactions. So if I have a DApp and every time you want to buy stuff and I'm telling you, approve transaction, I send you 10 different notifications. Wouldn't it feel that you have to like click on it again and again? It will be like really messing with the user experience. There might also be a problem, one of your transaction might crash, like not crash, like it might get stuck, it might get failed, and the further transactions don't take place. Okay, with batch transaction, that's what happens. You do it in one go and you don't have to worry about your transactions failing because the gas estimation happens first. Also, if you are transferring a token, that means you need to hold it in your account. Like right now, I need to have it in my account if I'm transferring it to some other account. So, with that being said, like with that entire thing process, you would be able to do as many transactions as you want. This part, not this one, we were talking about the ERC20 tokens, where you pay the gas fees in USDT, USDC. This is yet to come up in the SDK side, but we have got the gas list, which is like the gas tank, and batch transaction, which means as many transactions as you want to do, you can do in a single go. So what we'll do in the coming 2 sessions, we will look at number one. Okay, let me just increase the size for this. We'll do a social login. Okay, social login is gonna be something like Google account. Okay, and with Google account, we will deploy. This is the word um, you will hear a lot in the coming days. So you will deploy a smart contract wallet address, not the smart contract wallet or smart contract wallet address, that's called. And as I say this, your address is going to look like this: 0x, and then count the rest of it. Okay, so just like how your EOA address looks like, it starts from 0x, that's how it's going to look like for your smart contract wallet address. The second thing we look at is gasless transactions. So what we'll do is we'll do a mini code along. Okay, um, I will show you a demo. We will try to see how gasless works first. So you can just like do a transaction, and I will sponsor the gas fees for any like each one of you. So do as many transactions as you can. Just in case I run out of it, I will just recharge the gas tank in front of you. So we'll try actually. What we'll do is we'll try to finish off the entire gas tank fees, and then we'll recharge it, and I'll show you how it works out. Okay. So that's the gasless transactions. So mini code along, so demo, and then a mini code along. And in the third call, we'll do a batch transactions. Okay. I might ask you to read some of the things before the sessions so that you have a little brief idea. Post these sessions, I'll create like a small overview documentation for you guys to read, terms that you need to know, and maybe like yeah, in the next call we'll try to pick up those queries that you might be having from that documentation. I think right now we have around 10 to 12 minutes, so I'm opening the space for questions, queries, anything that you have. If you want, you can take a screenshot. I think might be slightly difficult. Anyone? Any questions that you're having, anything that you would like to ask around SDK, um, around smart contract wallets, relay, gas tank. I've just given like a very simple brief, and I know much of these terms will be very new to you, but don't worry about it at all. Like we'll go step by step in the next two sessions, and it's going to be really fun. Like next time you will be trying out something very new, and you will see how gasless transactions works out. Kiran, are you there?